Namaste. We feel some kind of way, something about. Say we love, we really love. We see you, we care. We feel that while you're here. That's exactly what keeps me coming back. Here at Namaste, we feel some kind of way, something about. Say we love, we really love. We see you, we care. We feel that while you're here. That's exactly what keeps me coming back. Here at Namaste, we feel some kind of way, something about. Say we love, we really love. We see you, we care, we feel ourselves while you're here. That's exactly what. That's exactly what. That's exactly what keeps me coming back.
Love it. Hello, hello. Welcome everyone to our Super Sunday service. My name is Chris Schreiber. I'm your host today. I'm a member of Namaste and the Combining Namaste and Seal Beach Centers for Spiritual Living, a unification adventure we are upon. I'm also a co-lead of the Exploration Leadership Team. And today, in honor of our topic a little bit later, I'm an inhabitant of this liminal space of transition, sometimes called the darkness. We're going to talk a little bit more about that today. I'm so glad you could join us. So glad you could join us. Online, hello online, hi Dad, and here in our beautiful space. If you are new, we are so glad you are with us. And if you continue walking on this journey with us, thank you. We appreciate you being here. We are a radically welcoming community. Radically welcoming community. We believe all paths lead to an awakening. Think about that for a minute. All paths leading to an awakening. We are here collectively revealing that love is the nature of who we already are. You may have received a prayer card when you walked in. If you want to be included in this week's practitioner's prayers, please fill out that prayer card. And if you need one, please raise your hand, and we'll be happy to bring you one. I'd also like to just say a special thank you to our practitioners who do a wonderful job. I'm deeply appreciative for each of you. And if you would raise your hand so that people know if they want a prayer, who they can reach out to, that would be great. Practitioners, thank you. Thank you. All right, I invite you to read with me who we are. Please read this with me. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is love, truth, light, and peace. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we recognize that we are one. Namaste. And now I turn it back over to the fabulous, epic, wonderful, amazing music team.
What an introduction. Can you do that every week? Thank you, Chris. All right. I know I keep inviting you to stand as you would like and join in our song, We Come Together. Keep that going. Here we go. Take a look at the person next to you. Say, I recognize the God in you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
Come together.
We come together.
We come together.
We come together. person next to you. Say, God loves me and I love you too. I do love you. Feel the love in the sanctuary. Ah, lift your voice and repeat after me. We come together.
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 In the name of love. We come together.
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 In the name of love.
Every walk of life, every creed and color, in kinship we unite, in honor of the God in each other. We come together. We come together.
Come together. Ooh, take a look at the person next to you. Say namaste, I bow to you.
Namaste, I bow to you.
Feel the love in the sanctuary. Oh, lift your voice and repeat after Des right here. Go, Des.
We come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love, we come together. We come together. We come together. In the name of love. In the name of love. In the name of love. In the name of love.
That was one of those moments where you say, oh, am I supposed to be there? Oh, how wonderful it is to be in a place of a beloved community. I am Jackie. I am the practitioner on platform today. I'm going to ask Valerie Day, our minister support, to come forth with the candle that infinite, that awesome, that inner, that outer light that each one of us carry as that divine being within each one of us, as us in human form.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, yes, I am. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
And now we'll read our affirmation. This one. It's so fun to be learning all the time. It is. There is only one life. This life is God's life. This life is perfect. This life is my life now. Oneness with the Divine by Reverend Bill Marconi. I read this morning during my meditation, and I thought, how appropriate, how appropriate. There is one power, one infinite intelligence that created all that is and continues to create it. This includes me and it has to include me. It must include me. I am created from the same infinite source, from the same substance as all of creation. So I'm not just connected to this one. I am a part of it. Everything that I am is creation of this infinite mind. As action of this prayer, I choose to be aware in every moment of my connection to the one. I am unique and beautiful flower, planted firmly in this rich divine soil. Any idea that I am separated from this divine source is simply a mirage. It dissolves immediately with my awareness of the truth that I am one with the one. I am thankful for this awareness now and always. I speak this intention from my continuous awareness of the truth, knowing that I am connected to the one. And so it is. Amen. And now I invite Lori, our bot, on platform to come and continue us on this road. Thank you.
Thanks, Jackie, and good afternoon, everybody. Let's see something back. It's okay. All right, so that was just a warm-up, so now you can actually stand up and go say hi to the person behind you or in front of you, and when the music stops, come on back to your chair. Thanks, music team. Hey, everybody. So we're all getting used to some new things. This is what we used to see. We are transitioning to what we are now in what Chris described as our liminal space. So join me with our collaboration mission statement. Through mindful and respectful exploration, we are creating a healthier foundation that supports and engages a whole beloved community equipped to launch new strategies for a thriving spiritual center. Yeah. In the meantime, we still have a few things that pertain. So here's our cycle of what we do. We awaken to a new truth in our lives. We realize how that truth has played out in our lives. We transform, take that new knowledge and transform our lives. And we repeat this process in our lives in new ways. And want to join me with the power statements? We are a place healing, and unity. We are Namaste, and this stuff works. Yeah. So, couple of announcements available in your newsletter. Read your newsletter. Things are getting more and more interesting, so usually pops up in your mailbox on Mondays, occasionally on Tuesdays, but check out the newsletter. So we have 2 exciting workshops coming up. Well, 2 dates for the 4 Agreements Workshop. The wisdom from the indigenous Mexican Toltec culture as provided by renowned spiritual leader Don Miguel Ruiz. Join Reverend Bobby for 2 offerings of 1 amazing workshop on the practice of the most important agreements we make with ourselves. It's a 1-day workshop. Will be offered on 2 dates from 1:30 to 5:30, so 2 dates in the afternoons. May 13th, next Saturday, at Namaste, here, and May 27th at Seal Beach, down the street. Registration's available via the newsletter. Choir, coming soon. Choir is actually here. Des over here is our director. And if Nikki hasn't already approached you, or Des, or a fellow member, you can easily join the community choir by emailing Nikki Freeman, also in the newsletter. She's our coordinator at Nikki Trex. Nikki T-Rex, I believe. Nikki T-Rex at Gmail. And rehearsals and planning are in the works, so you can approach Des if you want to have a chit-chat, but more to be coming. Collaborative service, our monthly collaborative service with Seal Beach. This month, 2 weeks from today, it's at Seal Beach? Oh, okay. So Seal Beach gets it 2 months running. Yeah, so collaborative service, Seal Beach, 2 weeks running, or 2 weeks from today. These slides you're used to seeing are daily spiritual practice. Jumpstart your weekday morning. Join our practitioners every weekday morning at 7 p.m., that would be for me, 7 a.m. for prayer, support, and connection. You can call in or join via Zoom. Information on the website and in newsletter. And the Safe Space is our hour-long grief group, support group every second Wednesday, so that's coming up this week, second Wednesday of the month, 7 p.m. We've created the Safe Space, Safe Place, to support grief from life events, the changes they bring, and to find comfort in community. And right now we have a lot of change going on in our own community, so I would imagine the Safe Space is a good place for some of that discussion. If you want to join in, register on Eventbrite and look within our newsletter and Facebook. And a few thank yous, because after all, we can't, got to have gratitude in our lives. Right, Rev? Okay. And Rev. Okay. So a few thank yous for last week's talk to Reverend Jeffrey Ryan for last week's talk on power and positivity. Woohoo! And tithe recipient. How often do you get a thank you letter from somebody that you gave money to? Well, Namaste, we elect 2 tithe community partners, and we already received a nice note back from the Long Beach Rescue Mission this month, which was really cool. The executive director and chaplain Jeff Levine. They sent us a note on the 2nd. And a thank you to everyone who is stepping up in this increased service time where we're doing new things, the new role of host for our weekly services. Thank you, Chris. There's some new things starting to happen, and if you're called upon to do something new, thank you in advance. Let's see. And last but not least, music of spring. You heard the music team playing some pre-service music and enjoying it now. And I will enjoy this next sacred time with the team before we transition to today's talk. Thank you all.
Thank you, Lord. We have a new sacred song this month. And it's a real call and response song, so I'll sing a line, you sing after me, I sing, you repeat for the chorus. Don't worry if you miss it the first time, we'll do it a couple of times after that. God is love, God is grace. Nice. We speak our prayer in this place. We give thanks, we give praise for the blessings of this day. Let's do it one more time. God of love, God is grace. We speak our prayer in this place. We give thanks, we give praise for the blessings of this day. For grandparents with loving trust, all who teach and mentor us, for everyone who lead and guide with patient hearts and sacrifice. God is love, God is grace. Nice. Speak our prayer in this place. We give thanks, we give praise for the blessings of this day. For a sister and brother too, friends and family who see us through, for those that ground who lead and fall, heart, mind, and soul, that we may grow. God is love, oh God is grace. Speak our prayers in this place, and we give thanks, we give praise for the blessings, for our family, for everyone on this day.
Awesome, awesome. If not, if not now, when? If not when, then where? If where, then how? If how, then why? So one can see, if the eyes are open, how the question can go on and on with the possibility of no answer in sight. The shadow continues to be present. The darkness of questions seem to surround everything and nothing, no thing can move. I'm stuck in the abyss of nothingness. This is the now. So the when is me deciding to move my feet. My arms are stretched out to get a semblance of my surroundings. I search deep and wide and up. I continue to feel no real thing or substance to grab hold of. Something taps me on my shoulder and speaks to me. Hello, I'm here. Right here. Grab me, I'll take you there. I listen again, and it speaks the same words. I ask, who are you? I'm fear. Come on, you know you want to go deeper with me. Grab hold. Let's go deeper. So I think, at least I'll be moving. So this is when, in me moving deeper. I ask fear, where are you taking me? Fear speaks to a place deep within me that I am the captain of this ship. I can go as far as I want and as crazy as I want in this place. It's all up to me. Fear is just the vessel that will transport me to that place of the unknown, a place that's familiar yet unfamiliar, a place where I can choose to build a house and stay, or a place to reside just for a moment until I can get my heart wrapped around what is yet to be. I choose to reside for a moment because even in the darkness, there is a sense of safety because I've come to this place before when the foul entities are present. I'm right and you're wrong. You know that familiar feeling that makes one feel justified in whatever. Then there's the place, because I said so, that just slips in for a visit and a drink. That drink could be a nice tall glass of I'm not moving, or a shot of I'm all good, or a can of you're a butthead. All delightful drinks, but each can get you intoxicated with self-righteousness. I know I've been there, and the results of that crazy hangover each time have given me is not the best feeling whatsoever. So I stop for a moment of this vessel of fear justifying my stagnant state to, at least, I know where I am. At last, I decided to notice how. Fear is just taking over every aspect of me. I look and see a garden of dark roses, an infinity pool, a patio set up with all the things I've ever wanted, a high fence so my neighbors can't see how I've decided to live. I just don't need any outside involvement in my temporary situation. Yes, I said temporary situation because innately I know the deeper there is something magical here in this dark place. Why begins to seep through the clouds, and fear begins to sing a song. There's a sweet, sweet spirit in this place. And I know that it's the presence of the Lord. There's a sweet expression on each face, and I know that it's the presence of the Lord. Sweet Holy Spirit, sweet Heavenly Dove, stay right here with us, filling us with your love. And for these blessings, we lift our hearts with praise. Without a doubt, we'll know that we have been revived when we are in this place. I listen with intentional listening. I listen with a deep heart of wanting to see the justification of just being in this darkness. I see fear has no place, no intent, but to show me that faith, if I continue to focus on fear. Fear allows me to notice that I'm looking and blocking out faith. Fear allows me to see faith is always present, and it depends on me to let her in. So why not move into this beloved community we're on the verge of building, knowing that with faith, even if it's the size of a mustard seed, that we are building a community that works for everyone, a community that all are welcome. Now is a time to know that when the time comes, that we will know where we are all the same and committed to how we will continue to build this community, because this is why Spirit planted us all here, to see the God in each one of us. And so it is.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Reeds drifting by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, yeah, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know it? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Oh, sleepy peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world and a bold world for me. I'm feeling good. Take it, Lorenzo. Oh, stars, when you shine, you know how I feel, don't you know it? Scent of the pine, you know I feel. Oh, freedom, freedom, freedom is mine, don't you know it? Freedom, freedom, freedom is mine. Oh, freedom, yeah, freedom, freedom is mine. That's how I feel, freedom. Des, give us a little something on that. Give it up for Des, yeah. Freedom is mine, that's how I feel. Oh, freedom. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. Oh, it's a new dawn, a new day, and a new life for me. Don't I feel
Wow, wow. Wow. Thank you so much, so much. That was amazing. And so perfect on so many levels, right? It's a new dawn, it's a new day. Is it not? Yes. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Good afternoon, namaste. How are you this afternoon? Doing good, doing good? Good, good. I'm so glad to be here. So blessed to be here. And excited, actually, to be talking about the darkness. I know that sounds kind of weird, but I am. Because I think because I've journeyed through it and continue to journey through it because I know and have found the pearls that are on the other side. And so that's what I want to talk about today, is how can we embrace the darkness, and it's not that we're not afraid of it, but that we embrace the fear as well. So we're embracing the fear and the darkness. And how do we do that? How do we do that? Because we know the truth. We'll speak the truth first, and the truth of the matter is that we know that there is only one God, right? There is only one God. There's one source, infinite, eternal source, and that source resides within each and every one of us. Does it not? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. In its entirety, all the time. 100% of the time, 100% of God resides within us at all times. Okay, are we very clear on that? Yes? Okay, so that's where we're going to come from. Because when we're talking about the darkness, we know that that is also an expression of God as well. Like, wait, how can that be? How can God be within the darkness? Well, we know it's in everything, everywhere, at all times. And so the darkness, if God is in the darkness, then maybe there's something there for me to look at. Maybe there's something there. And what is the darkness anyways? What is it? Because if we know that we are the light and we're the truth, then what is the darkness and where does it reside? Where does it reside? We know the light is within us. The truth is within us. That's like woven within us. We're not separate from it. And the darkness it occurs in our mind. It occurs in our experience and our interpretation of our experience. Now, don't get me wrong. There are times, dark nights of the soul, right, where we are suffering. We are having challenges, where there is loss. And so I definitely acknowledge those dark nights of the soul. And I'm also talking about the places where our mind likes to take us. That can also bring darkness, when we have choices. And what I want us to be clear of is that when life is happening, we want to remember that it's not happening to us, it's happening through us. So it's happening through us. We are filters. We are filters for God, and each one of us is a filter, and that we have a different experience of the same. Like everyone in this room right now is having a different experience of the same, of me standing up here giving a talk. So we're having different experiences. So what I want to talk about, darkness is not necessarily negative. Okay, it's happening through us. I want to call it neutral, but it doesn't feel neutral when we're experiencing it, right? It doesn't feel safe. It doesn't feel secure. We want it to go away. We want the fear to go away. We want to just bypass it or get rid of it. But when we can breathe, when we feel it, experience it, see it, it gives us that pause to walk through it. And why am I speaking of this is because as we are taking steps to unify and grow together as one, we're going through different phases, each one of us individually and collectively. We're in different places. So one might be, oh, yes, we're unifying, and the other one's like, when's this thing getting over with? We're going to be in different places. And the beauty of it is that we have We have tools. This care model that we're using to walk through this is an amazing blessing to us. I must say, I'm very impressed with how it navigates us through our discussions and our meetings. I was at a corporate meeting at work last week. It was. And I work at a Catholic hospital, and so we do start our meetings with either a prayer or a video to help you feel good and center yourself. And the person leading the meeting showed this video, and it touched my heart. I started crying. And we're on a Microsoft Teams meeting, and so then they said, "Does anybody want to share about the video?" And I've said, "Oh yeah, I just want to share." It goes, "A beautiful video. It made me cry." And I'm in, a corporate meeting with the CEO of 2 hospitals. And I wasn't in my care group at Namaste Seal Beach. And so there was silence. I was not in Kansas anymore, okay? I was left out there on the edge. And it just made me realize the value and the gifts that we have, because that was not their mode of operation. They show the prayer or the video because there's, they have to, because it's part of the hospital policy, I guess, to show it. I don't know, but there was silence and a little giggle, and then I didn't say anything. I was like, I'm just gonna see what happens, and then they just continued on with the meeting, on to the list of things to do. Which is what we do, right? That's what we do. Let's just get the list of things to do. Okay, what were we supposed to finish last week this week that we didn't finish last week? Let's get this done so that we can have this feeling of accomplishment. Let's do this, and just bypassed, any feelings that were put out into the room, into the Zoom room, if you will, and just bypassed it. And I was really observant of that, because that's the model that we're used to. And we are building a new model. We're building a brand new model. I don't know if it's brand new, but it's new to us. It's new to us. And so we're used to the model. We want, we're going to do so that we can have, and then we'll be happy. So we'll do, and then we'll have what we want, and then we'll be happy. That's the model that we're used to. And we're kind of changing it up a little bit. So first we're being. And sometimes being takes a little bit of time, because we want to do. Wait, hold on. We're going to be. Breathe. Okay, let's be with what is. And then we'll do, and then we'll have. And that's a different structure than we're used to. We're used to just do, unconscious, bypass, someone just said they cried, and just bypass it all so that we can get done, because we can get done to move on to the next meeting. Or we can get done so we can get it done faster than our competition. Or, just we can get it done and check that box. I'm a box checker, don't get me wrong. But I'm learning the value of honoring where each other's at, because we are each contributions to this unfoldment of our next center, each and every one of us. And I believe that when we can honor each and every one where they are, then we grow together without leaving anyone behind. And we, as I said earlier, things are happening not to us. This transition, this unification isn't happening to us. It's happening through us. So we are the filters. We are the filters for which this is happening. And I'm sure you've heard of the parable that you can't put new wine in old wineskins, right? So in order for us to not repeat history, we need to look at the filter, which is us. Each one of us. And who do I need to become? What do I need to let go of? This is what we're doing in visioning, when we're doing visioning on Wednesdays, the first Wednesday. who do I need to become? What do I need to let go of so that I can be a filter, an even bigger open space for birthing something greater than ourselves? We are birthing something greater than ourselves. So who and how and what do I need to become and let go of? To be the space for this center to be birthed through. And once I can be that, then I know what to do. Sometimes I do before I know who I need to be. It's when I turn it backwards, it's like, what's that saying? Action. Oh, I can't even remember it right now, so I'm not even going to tear it. I'm not going to mess it up. But that's the new model that we're working with, is the model of being, and that takes the inner work, and that's where the darkness can come in, because the darkness is just showing us our fear edge, right? It's our edge of what to do. You know, I was in yoga class yesterday, and yoga class is very parallel to life when you're in yoga class, let me tell you. So I was in the class, and I was struggling. So I was trying to decide, do I want to surrender and just go into child's pose and rest? Do I want to breathe into it, maybe see if I can push a little bit further? And then there's the third choice, which is the one I chose, the really conscious, aware choice. Do I want to look up and compare myself to everybody in the room? That was my moment. So that's what I chose to do in that particular moment. Where did that bring me? Into the darkness, okay? So I looked up, and I'm looking like, is anybody else in child's pose? Is anybody else taking a break? Is anyone suffering as much as I am right now in this class? The teacher is giving that student an adjustment. Why isn't she giving me an adjustment? So what happened is I'm like, totally took myself out of the present moment of being in my body, in my class, in this. I felt like I was in a holy moment, and I took myself out. My mind, I took myself out and went down a deep, dark hole. I started comparing myself and seeing the teacher adjust. And I want to adjust. You know, the yoga teacher will come up to you and give you an adjustment to help you get into your pose. And like, I want adjustment. You know, does she like her better than me? You know that places we can go. And you know what's interesting is that there's probably like 30 people in that class, and every single one is having their own conversation in their head all at the same time, simultaneously in that class. And that's where I chose to go. So that's life, right? We're all having a simultaneous conversation going on in our head. And are we going into the deep, dark hole? And if we are, what are we doing about it? You know? So I caught myself. Oh, there I go again. You know, and I took a break, and I went into child's pose, and I took some breaths, settled myself, and went back internal. And we can do that in life, too. When we get to that edge, and we start looking outside of ourselves for the answers, or comparing ourselves, or maybe, like I was impatient with the teacher. I became impatient. I thought, I wasn't getting attention. Whatever it is that the mind wants to take me, you, us, we can pause and take a break. Go into child's pose. Child's pose is a resting place where we can go and recenter ourselves. We can sit in meditation. We can breathe. We can, it's really great to laugh. When we can laugh at ourselves, like I started chuckling at myself when I realized where my mind went and how I was, in this really deep moment, and then I was out into the world, being critical and of myself and others, just like that, right? It happens just like that. So, I say yes to child's pose. It's a beautiful, beautiful pose to go into. And I just realized I forgot my slides here. Okay. So I just want to share a quote with Brene Brown. It's a little long quote here. And she says, owning our story can be hard, but not nearly as difficult as spending our years running from it. Embracing our vulnerabilities is risky, but not nearly as dangerous as giving up on love, giving up on belonging or joy. The experiences that make us most vulnerable. Only when we are brave enough to explore the darkness will we discover the infinite power of our light. Ooh. Only when we discover the infinite power of our light by exploring the darkness. And how do we do that? When we're in fear, first of all, we have to recognize that we're in fear, right? We have to recognize that the behavior is fear-based, whether my voice is changing, the intonation of my voice is changing, that tells me I'm in fear. Maybe I'm feeling tight. That tells me I'm in fear. Maybe I'm in anger. That tells me I'm in fear. All of these flags that say, woohoo, fear, you're in fear, there's darkness. The darkness is there. That's where we maybe go into child's pose, right? Where we can stop and breathe and go within. Because, the darkness, some people think the darkness is like the tomb, like it's the death. But what if we think of darkness as the womb, where we're birthing something, which I believe we are. And it's just bringing up our stuff. It's bringing up our stuff to look at so that we can be liberated from the limitations that we've had in the past. So when we can free ourselves, then we become a new filter. We become a new filter once again so that this center can be birthed through us. And this doesn't have to just apply. I'm applying it to the new center that we're birthing because it's a perfect idea for us to use for life itself. So whatever you're trying to birth in your life, we're going to come up against our edge, our fear edge. And so it's like, who am I going to be when I'm up against my fear edge? Who am I going to be? Am I going to surrender into child's pose? Am I going to breathe and go into it? Or am I going to look up and go into my mind and start looking out into the world and comparing myself? Yes, these are the choices that we have. These are the choices that we have. And when we do go into the darkness, all it is that we're forgetting. When I was in that yoga class, I just forgot. I just went unconscious. And has anybody ever gone unconscious? Please don't let me be the only one raising my hand. Yes, thank you. 2 hands, yes, thank you. It just means we forget who we are, that we're not coming from love and light. It happens, because how are we going to remember who we are if we don't forget who we are? It's the dance. If we never went unconscious or forgot who we are, we'd be floating or walking on water or sitting on the mountaintop somewhere. We're human, we're human. So honoring that dark place that we can go into when we forget helps us to get back to remembering. Because when we can honor it, there I go again, I forgot who I was, or there I go again, going into judgment, or whatever it is, wherever our favorite flavor of going unconscious is, then when we can honor it and accept that it's a part of us. That's kind of the tricky part, right? I want to accept that I'm judgmental. I want to accept that I have anger, or I want to accept that I'm controlling. Ooh, who wants to accept that one? That's a good one right there. So, but when we can accept it, okay, this is part of who I am. I want to honor it. And it is in that moment when we can accept it that it can shift. That it can shift. And then we can go into saying, okay, if you were talking to a friend who says, I'm dealing with control issues or what have you, I would have compassion for them. Like, oh, thank God that they're open and willing and loving enough to work on their control issues. And I would have compassion for that journey that they're walking through, right? So let's do that for ourselves. When we can acknowledge, oh, there's my fear again, there's my anger again. Oh, let me have compassion for myself. as I'm walking through this, and acknowledging the limiting beliefs that I have, and who knows where they come from. They can come from our family, they can come from our ancestors. I don't know. I don't know. It can be so far back. But acknowledgement and acceptance is the first step, and then compassion for yourself is the next. So how do we do that? We just say, oh, I noticed, there I go again. I'm just going to take a moment and have some compassion for myself. I can do it for others, right? It's really easy to do it for others when you're trying to support them through something. But to do it for yourself, ooh, that is the practice. To love yourself and all of your edges and all of the dark spots that reside within us. That is the practice right there. And so in this world of do, have, and be, I want us to just continue to remember that, yes, there are things to do. That is a never-ending list, the to-do list, right? Never ending. But when we can put being at the top, at the priority, at the centering of who we are, then the doing and the having become more fluid, more grace-filled, because it's happening through you, through me. We are not doing tasks, I'm going to do. It's flowing through us because we have become and allowed ourselves to be a vessel for God. We have allowed ourselves to be the midwife for this center that we're blossoming, that we're blooming, that we're giving birth to. So, yes, let us place our attention on the beingness of life, the beingness, connection with God, noticing our limitations and blessing them and loving them as best we can. On the next slide, Elizabeth Lesser says, "My prayer to God every day is to remove the veil so I might see what is really happening here and not be intoxicated by my stories or my fears." What is really happening here? That's a really good question. Because life itself will bring forth and show us the areas that we need to heal if we allow it and if we are willing to look. And if anyone needs assistance with walking through it, we have practitioners here that are amazing support systems. If the therapy is also, an option or whatever we need, there is no recipe that is the same for each of us. So we walk through and do what we need to do, because I know that our souls have asked us to be here for a reason. We are like I said, the midwives, and it's requiring a lot, but it's also requiring, like for me, it's requiring what I want, and that is to be a greater vessel for love. I want to be a greater vessel for compassion. I want to heal some areas of my life, and as I'm growing and walking through this, I'm noticing that they're dissolving and dissipating and fading away, and that's what my heart has desired. That's what my heart has always desired, and here I'm given this opportunity through bringing our centers together to heal what I've been longing for all along. Isn't that beautiful? That it's just brought to us. And I'm going to end with this slide here. This quote from Tara Brach. "May these circumstances serve to awaken my heart, my compassion, and my wisdom." Namaste. Yes. Yes. Thank you. And let us go into prayer. Let us go into prayer, into the knowingness, into the allness, into the everythingness of God, and knowing that as I am one with this holy, Holy Spirit, I know that each and every one of us are one Moving in through and as expression, divine expression of the One. And as we move and groove through the Holy Spirit, I just know that healing and wholeness is the order for the day. Joy, laughter, and grace are the order for the day. As each one of us walk together hand in hand through this process called unification. It's not just unification with our centers, it's unification with God as God right here, right now. I say yes, I release this, knowing it is done, knowing it is so, as we all say together, and so it is, and so it is. Music team, thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Veronica. That was amazing. There is a candle in every soul, some brightly burning, some dark and cold. There is a spirit who brings a fire, ignites a candle, and makes its home. So carry your candle, run to the darkness, seek out the hopeless, confused and torn. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle and go light your world. Take your candle and go light your world. Frustrated brother, see how he's tried to light his own candle some other way. See now your sister, she's been robbed and lied to, still holds a candle without a flame. So carry your candle, run through the darkness, seek out the lonely, the tired and the worn. Hold out your candle for all to see it. Take your candle and go light your world. Take your candle and go light your world. We are a family whose hearts are blazing. So let's raise our candles, light up the sky, pray into our power. In the name of goodness, make us a beacon in darkest times. Carry your candle, run to the darkness. light your world. Take your candle, go light your world, and go light your world. Don't be in fear, go light your world. Run to that darkness, go light your world.
So grateful to get to hear someone else speak. Especially when they're so good, right?
Yeah.
It is the time of our conscious giving, so it's never been more intentional in how we give. It's the opportunity to step in to how we give in a deeper way. And it's not how much, it's that we do, and that we give from that place within the heart. I've said this before, but I learned about giving in a faith tradition that was more about have to, and it had to do with my salvation. It's a terrible place to learn because it always came from guilt and shame because I never gave enough. And so in this place, in this community, when we give from our heart no matter what it is. We give of our time, we give of our talent, and in this moment we give of our treasure, which is we give to a community that serves us towards that beautiful unification that we are walking through right now. And by the way, unification is not a destination. It's a journey that we will continue to walk through, so in gratitude. So there are many ways you can give, and you see them up here as well. And so let us speak our affirmation, that place from which we give, and just place your hand on your heart as you give. And so speak this with me today. Today, I allow the divine radiance within me to shine forth. I open my heart, and the light of Spirit pours into my surroundings, blesses me, blesses others, and blesses the world. And so it is. So thank you for that. And I'll just invite Valerie Day to come back up here and to come get the candle. So what is this candle that we have? It just reminds us that as a community, we become intentional at the beginning of the service. And now what it reminds us of is that we carry the candle out because we are it. We are that light. We've always been that light. We just get reminded that we are the light. And thank you for that beautiful message that reminds us by both Reverend Veronica and for Jackie and her beautiful share earlier today. I wanted to give a few thank yous for that as well, but before I do, May 21st is our next collaborative service. Everyone know that? It's at Seal Beach. Why is it at Seal Beach again? We did 2 months in a row. John spoke in April, our beloved Reverend John, and so we go back again in May, and that's why we're over at Seal Beach. The great thing is yesterday we had this amazing practitioner meeting of the 2 corps coming together with the intention of building one. One of the things, there's 2 things that came out of that meeting that are happening immediately. One is your prayer doesn't just go to the practitioners at Namaste. Your prayer is now held by both corps as one in prayer. Huge. Second thing, on May 21st, which is the collaborative service, we are bringing back meditation. Meditation will happen before service. It will start with each collaborative service being that time that we come together in meditation as community. More to show. We're trying to work through that as far as location so that music team can rehearse. So we'll probably be in the youth and family space. If you haven't been, it's the building next to the sanctuary at Seal Beach. So for those of you who have not done meditation in a group, are scared of meditation, or love meditation and anything in between, practicing meditation in community is the most powerful thing you can do. If you've struggled before, you will struggle less. You will step into the collective consciousness, the energy that a group does when they meditate together. It is extremely powerful. It is how I learned to begin to meditate, because I tried on my own. And can I just tell you, I got lost in that busy head. I started to have grace for that busy head and know that's what it's designed for. And I was paying attention to my thoughts, not my busy head, and being conscious of what I think. So join us for that on May 21st. I want to thank also Chris Schreiber for doing that amazing opening. You'd think she owns the place. Loved it. She says she does. I like that. I also want to thank Lena and Des and Lorenzo for coming together. Beautiful music today. Valerie Day, thanks for showing up like you do. She beautifully prepared the space. Thank you for doing that. Our Board of Trustee, which is Lori Winterroud Holmes. Thank you so much. Is it Holmes, Winterroud, or alphabetically, right? I do the same thing. Lori Holmes Winterroud, for setting the space up here and for leading us as one of the Board of Trustees. Thank you so much for that. And our welcome team, which is Cheryl. Who else was in the back? Thank you, Sarah. Sarah was in the back too. Thank you, welcome team. Make sure you pay attention to your newsletter, because there will be updates in there about the unification and what's happening. There are some teams that are going to be starting to meet next week, and we're pretty excited because we're going to be putting together the most, what would you say, important and urgent? Quadrant 1, as Chris calls it. It's like a square, the Hollywood squares. It's square 1. And so we're working on square 1 right now, which is what is most urgent. If you are interested in participating going forward, please make sure you talk to Chris, or if we're at Seal Beach, talk to Keith. You can talk to a Board of Trustee or whatever you would like. Thank you for being here today. So please stand as you are able as we do our benediction. This is my second time today. I am getting so good at this. Honestly, if you don't love it, well, I don't know what to tell you if you don't love it. I just know that I do. So I'm going to ask you a question. So, okay, now I'm going to ask you also to wake up a little bit, right? So kind of move around a little bit and get the blood flowing a little bit more as we move into this place where I'm going to ask you an important question, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
What in the world is happening right now? Something
Wonderful is happening really right now.
really. It's a 4-letter word, right?
Yeah.
What is it? This thing called life. Where is life?
Life is in my mind. Life is in my body. Life is all that I am. Life is all that we are.
Wait, before you do it, is it just the people in this room? Thank you for that clarification. No, it is not. Life is everyone, right? Okay, now you can do it. What am I going to do with it?
Accept it.
And?
Helmet.
And? Are you ready?
Yes.
How?
Just the way it appears.
Sometimes it appears and I don't like it. I don't. Sometimes it shows up and I'm uncomfortable and I don't like it and I want to escape and I go into the dark because I want to hide or escape. But that isn't going to help, is it? No, no. So also it shows up in another way. Would you tell me what that is? grateful for what you heard today? Are you grateful for the music that was beautifully presented to you?
Yes.
Are you grateful to each other?
Yes.
Are you grateful for family,
Yes.
friends?
Yes.
What else?
Wife.
Well, food. I'm all about food right now. Help. We don't do this alone. Don't do it alone. The only thing that you do alone is be willing. That's it. Just be willing. So in this moment, be willing to be grateful. Allow that gratitude to move up through your body into that heart that always you travel with, that should be the driver, not the mind. And in that space of gratitude, on the count of 3, I want you to speak it for the first time today. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you, life.
When the walls come tumbling down, I choose joy. I choose joy. When the world stops spinning around, I choose joy. When my heart's too hard to move, and the music, it's lost its groove. When I have too much to prove, what do? You might as well. I choose joy.
Put your hands together. When the walls come tumbling down, I choose joy. What do I choose?
I choose joy.
That's right. When the world stops spinning around, I choose joy. What do I choose?
I choose joy.
That's right. When my heart is hard to move, when my music's lost the groove, when I have too much to prove, I choose joy. Tell them what you choose.
I choose joy.
That's right. Sing it.
Joy, 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 joy.
I choose joy. That's right again. Joy,
Joy, joy, joy, joy.
I choose joy. Sing it again now. Yeah.
Joy, 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 joy. I choose joy.
Last time now.
Joy, 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 joy. I choose a little bitty old thing called joy.
Thank you. Namaste. Have a great week.